What's up, guys? It's Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It is currently 7:29 a.m. Thursday morning, May the 8th, 2025 year of our Lord. I tell you what, man, looks like it's about to pour down rain. I just looked at the radar. The radar ain't showing nothing. And the forecast is saying it's supposed to start thundering and lightning around 10 p.m. this evening. We've got 7 on the list. One of them is a commercial property, and the rest of them are pretty good sized properties. Acreage. So we're gonna be working all day today, and I really do hope this rain holds off, man, because I've got stuff that's got to get done tomorrow for Mother's Day. So we'll see what happens, man. We're gonna work till we can't. That's what we did yesterday, and we wound up getting everything done. But anyway, I want to holler at y'all real quick, man. I want to a buddy of mine, he's new to the business, and he just got by a customer, and that's what I call it anyway. He did a cleanup for a lady, and he went about it the wrong way, man. He was looking at it as he was going to pick up a recurring customer, a weekly customer, for $75 per service, and he was going to take care of her bushes. He said she had like 3 or 4 little bushes in her front, and had a little cookie cutter property, you know, and they said that she wanted bi-weekly service, and it was going to be paper service. And he he went out there, cleaned out the beds, trimmed up the bushes, and mowed her overgrown lawn, and fixed up her edges and all that good stuff. Trimmed back some trees, all that good stuff for $75. He said he spent 2.5 hours on that property. And the lady said that her husband was going to start taking care of the property on his own. So she dropped him, and he was pissed. Boy, he was beside himself when he was talking to me. He said he cussed a woman out. I don't think he did. I hope he didn't. And I don't think he did. I hope he's got better sense than that. But he said he cussed a woman out, and gave her a piece of his mind, and put her on blast on the Nextdoor app. I'm not on Nextdoor, so I can't get on there to see what he said. But anyway, guys, if you're picking up a new customer, if you're not doing contracts or monthly payments or anything like that, you really need to be careful when you're charging new customers, because that's happened to me multiple times, especially when I was first starting out. I didn't know any better. I just always looked at the good in people, and refused to believe that people would try to take advantage of a new business owner. Well, it happens, guys. It happens a lot. And so the way I recommend it, even if you're doing monthly payments, a year-round contract or whatever it may be, even if you're doing that, guys, the way I always do it is, if I pick up a new customer, I make sure beyond a shadow of a doubt that I go to the property, put boots on the ground, and walk that property to make sure there ain't no, I've heard several people call them no-see-ums. Make sure there ain't nothing hiding in the property that you can't see from afar. And you're going to tear up your mower, or wind up hitting some rocks and breaking a window or something like that. I always check for that. And then I always look at it to see if the property's overgrown, what all's got to be done. I look at the beds, the edges, the trees, the bushes, all that stuff. And decide whether or not I'm going to need to use weed killer in the beds or anything. I look at everything. And whatever materials I'm going to have to use, if I have to spray the beds, that's an automatic extra $10 from what my minimum is. If it's a property that the beds need to be sprayed to get under control, I'm charging them an extra $10 to do that. And now I say that, you know, if it's a small bed, like just one little bitty area, one little bitty 5x5 or 10x10 area by the front door, I'm not going to charge them extra for that. But if they got some beds, and I'm gonna have to use some product to spray it, yeah, they're getting charged for it. And also, how much time is it going to take you? Like today, for instance, me and my helper, we picked up a new customer yesterday, went and looked at it, and I went and looked at it when I got done, and it's going to take us an hour to get this property under control. And we're gonna have to weed eat the beds. She has 0 bushes in her yard. All the bushes have been ripped out of the ground, but the beds are gonna have to be weed eated. They're gonna have to be sprayed, and we're gonna have to mow the property. And it's overgrown. It's like 3 foot high. in some spots. And so it's probably going to take us an hour to do, maybe a little less, but I'm charging her for an hour's worth of work. I'm charging her $140. And I recommend you guys do the same. You know, sometimes you pick up a new property, the edges might be overgrown 2 or 3 inches, and those roots may be stuck to the concrete. And when that happens, you have to you can either use a weed eater to clean up the concrete, or you can use a flat blade shovel just to go through and break those roots loose from the concrete, whatever it may be. But you're probably going to have to weed eat, edge, and then blow everything out into the yard and then mulch it up as you're mowing. And so you're probably going to have to blow it 2 or 3 times before you're done. And then you're probably going to have to spray some stuff. You're probably going to have to weed eat some overgrown stuff. And if you're by yourself, chances are it's going to take you an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes on these new properties when you pick up overgrown properties. But the bottom line is, you've got to get paid for every minute that you are on somebody's property, especially if you have a helper. And I explained that to him yesterday, let him know, like, look, there's going to be some cases where you don't pick the customer up, but more times than not, the customer will understand if their property is out of control and it's more than they can handle, and there's a reason why they called you. So they understand that that first cut's going to be expensive. 90% of the time, they understand that, and they get it. I've even had customers tell me on the phone before I come and looked at them, say, hey, listen, I know that first one's going to be expensive. I'm fine with it. I'm willing to pay whatever you're charging, but we got to get this thing under control, and I got to get this HOA off of my back, and then after that, I need bi-weekly service. So take all that into consideration, guys. And you know, also think about this too. There has been properties that I have burned up a brand new edger blade on. And I had a property 3 years ago when Mama Tank was working with me on the weekends. I picked up a customer and her bushes were way overgrown. It took my wife and I 6 hours to trim these bushes. That's all we were doing, was trimming the bushes and edging the property. But it took me 6 hours to trim these bushes, and then took another hour and a half to edge the property, guys. The edges were overgrown by about that much on the concrete, and there was only about a foot of walking space in the center of the sidewalks. So yeah, had to take care of all that. I went through there, or Mama Tank went through there with a stick edger, and I went behind her with a string trimmer, cleaned it up, and then we still had to go through with a flat blade shovel and knock the grass loose from the sidewalks. And then once we got done with that, we had to blow everything up into the yard because it looked like sod, little 6-inch wide sod rolls rolled up. So we had to blow everything into the yard, even though we wasn't mowing the property, and had to mulch it all up. Now, yeah, I did lose money on that property because I underquoted, but I didn't lose much. I think I underquoted by maybe an hour at the most. And back then I think I was only charging $60 per hour for my business, because 90% of the time it was just me doing it, and I didn't charge extra for Mama Tank. But so we wound up mowing that property just to mulch that stuff up. But it's things like that you've got to take into consideration. You're probably going to burn up an edger blade. You're probably going to use a ton of weed eater string. You're probably going to have to use product to kill some weeds in the beds and grass and all that good stuff, and driveway cracks to get all that under control. And you're probably going to have to blow that property more than once to get everything cleaned up and out into the yard where you can mulch it up with a mower or bag it, whatever you're doing. And so yeah, you're going to have to charge more a lot of times for these brand new overgrown customers, or people that's just moving in to a property and the previous owners or tenants, whatever it may be, did not care about the property. So yeah, you're going to have to charge extra for that. And if you lose the customer, that's fine, man. Or if you don't pick up the customer, that's fine. It's better to not pick up the customer at all than it is to pick up the customer and lose money. So you can't always look at it as you're picking up a new recurring service, because like what happened to my buddy, like what has happened to me and probably several of you out there, that customer could drop you as soon as that service is over and say that her husband or herself or brother, son, whatever it's going to be, is going to maintain the property. And people will take advantage of you like that, guys. But anyway, I hope y'all got something out of this, man. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you didn't, that's fine. Let me know how dumb I am down in the comments below, and hit that like and subscribe button anyway, man. But anyway, It's getting close to the weekend. All you weekend warriors, man, I hope y'all are getting y'all's minds right, and I hope y'all get out there and crush it this weekend and grow, grow, grow. And all the rest of you guys, man, I hope y'all stay dry today. It's already starting to rain. Wasn't supposed to till 10 p.m. tonight, but it is what it is. We all know the weatherman's full of shit. And hope y'all have an amazing day and an amazing rest of your week. But till the next one, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. I'll let y'all. Bye.